Hello, folks. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Plucking Petals podcast with James and Kyle. As always, I am Kyle.
And I'm James.
As we go a little something like, little something like this.
It's all about the good, bad, love, hate. And we are joined today by one of the members of the band, the Commonwealth, Andrew.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good?
Yeah.
How's your day going so far? Thank you.
It's really hot. It's really
yes, it is. Yes.
It's going all right. Yeah.
So I know Kuhar, we went to St. Ignatius together.
Mm-hmm.
We played in a high school rock-off together. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
What did you guys play at the Rock Off?
We
started with Mario.
We did the Mario theme song at one point
and
because we had no other. It was in the middle of the set, I remember. It was very awkward, and it was very apparent how awkward it was in the middle. I remember just, we had a bunch of, our own stuff, and then some covers, and then somewhere just instrumental Mario, because the one guy knew how to play it perfectly on piano.
Yeah.
And everyone just tried to folw as best as they could.
Did people go nuts at that point?
I think it was a crowd pleaser, but it was also, this drifted in...
This took a turn real quick. I did a talent show in the 6th grade, and it's right when Donkey Kong 64 came out. We did the Donkey Kong rap.
I have that song is haunted me.
I know. Good. I feel like I think I know most of the words, which I'm not going to subject you to now.
No, that's okay.
The voice of the rapper and the beat, and just the whole.
It is all awful.
It's stuck with me forever. I'll find myself just hearing different lyrics to that beat, and it's just I don't know, just the characters horribly animated
with this coconut gun.
Yeah, the really bad rhymes.
The best part of it was we convinced the school that we could say hell, because at the last part he says the word hell, and we're 6th grade.
Is it censored? Did they not use? I feel like there was a word in the rap. I remember.
I think it was hell
that had asterisks and stuff.
Yeah, but they said it. They couldn't. So
it probably
type
wasn't
out.
Hell. Or maybe it was. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's very un-Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly. And then he did the new ukulele theme too, which was garbage. But what are we gonna do? Anyways,
after the Donkey Kong rap, he made a song that was garbage. Oh man, did you see any of this E3 stuff?
Yeah, I tried to follow some of it. I didn't watch.
That's good.
I didn't watch the live conferences too much, partly because the finals were going on.
Yeah.
But partly because usually the articles that come out just sort of parse what you need to actually read.
Exactly.
If you're interested, I could just do a search real quick and
or
my friends will text me and be, "Did you see this game?" So it seemed like there's a lot.
There is a YouTuber called Kroby Cat who does these editings.
I literally saw that yesterday.
Yeah,
it was so good.
So he brought together all of the cringiest moments and just made it an 18-minute long video.
Do they do that for every year?
Yeah,
he did that every year. He did that for all of the No Man's Sky press.
Oh no!
And during the No Man's Sky one, it was that song "Tell Me Lies, Tell Me Sweet Little Lies." It would just be it's multiplayer.
So what did they do this year? That I did, because I didn't see the live. That's when you catch them when you.
Yeah, it was a lot of just really embarrassing moments. They showed this one guy playing Battlefield 1, and he actually blew up a tank with a gun. He's like, "Oh my god, that'll never happen again!" And they cut to this guy who just kind of looks like
he's
Botox.
"Oh
no, wow, yeah, that was incredible. You only see that in Battlefield."
Yeah, you only see that in the new Battlefield 1 expansion. It was just a bunch of weird. I'd say cringy is a good word for it, but I watched a lot of it on Twitch, which is amazing to watch anything on Twitch. I highly recommend it because the Twitch chat just makes fun of everything. But people were like, "All right, let's give it up for so and so," and then no one claps. And then the announcer's like, "Man, this is a death of a career," and it's please hire people.
I think the E3, whoever has to do the PR people that are at these companies, and they go up there and they're not used to maybe giving public speeches.
Yeah.
And they seem like they have charisma, but then they can't save the moment. It takes a real good comedian or stand-up host to really know how to roll with it. And sometimes when it's going downhill, they just go into pure self-deprecating mode, and the crowd is just already sinking in their seat, and they're like, no.
they're already they're bathing in it. They're like, we already hate this, but this is what we do best, is watch you fail. So
yeah, they had a huge moment like that at this E3. They had a YouTube creator make the introduction for a new Need for Speed game, and he just lost his way and was just like
could not
didn't
handle
know what
it
to do
because it's
Wait,
live.
he was making it live?
No,
he was like introducing
making the
it.
announcement. I'm sorry, and he was just like trying to hype people.
They're
up
having him
for it.
edit it live.
Yeah,
faster.
That's the problem is that because he is I've seen his channel. It's like a fucking dumb prank channel, and he like everything's all jump cuts and edits. Like every other word's like a freaking edit. So when you're in live and he doesn't know what he's doing, he just like stumbled for like 2.5 minutes just trying to say just words. Can't say Need for Speed.
In his professional life, he never has to make it to the end of a sentence because he can just jump cut.
And you can edit it out and redo it and retake it and redo it. And yeah, he couldn't handle it. But the only thing that I recommend watching from E3 is the Devolver Digital conference that happened right after Bethesda. They are the company that published Hotline Miami, which I love them. They made Dropsy, A Hug Adventure. They made Broforce, stuff like that. They made a 15-minute press conference that was psychotic, and it was amazing. They just made fun of the entire concept. It was a pre-recorded video, and all their crowd shots are clearly Getty Image videos of a movie theater because they all had popcorn and they're like dripping, like sipping sodas and shit like that. It was just like, oh my god.
Did they cut to the what is it? Cleveland Cinemas trailer that plays in front of like every
the roller coaster.
Not even that, but the one where they're like every time I go to the Cedar Lee Theater, they have this intro that's about like being respectful during the movie, and they have this song that plays and the popcorn, and they get scared in the like popcorn. It's like there's nothing on the screen, and they show like the exit sign with like the elite. If they would have cut that in, that would have been a pretty deep cut.
I think that would have been really local. But I recommend it. It's only 15 minutes long. I don't know how they got it on the E3 floor. Like E3 already has problems with them. I guess every year apparently they go and they're on this private property and they have like a huge party for the whole entire E3. And this year they decided to try to move it up into a city area, and then they took their permits away right before it started. So it's like I feel like there's a little bit of clash to them. Anyways, James, we gotta talk about fan mail.
Yeah, I got one for you.
Okay.
This is by Brian Spriggs.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Are you as smart in real life as you are in the show?
No, not at all. We'll continue.
Okay. That's the mail.
That's it? Oh, that's it. No. I mean, I feel like I'm at a constant low here, so...
Is it even worse than this?
I think so. You've seen me outside of the show and outside of a microphone. I can barely talk as it is. So,
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm out. This one is...
Oh, man, that looks like a wall of text.
No, I promise it's not. This one is Need a Opportunity in all caps. Submitted by Ariana Nader from Greece. That is one word. All caps.
Okay.
This is in all caps, by the way. That's
Please
important.
Don't shout it. I'll get.
I won't. The levels would kill it. I love you. I am 12 years old and I am from Greece. I love singing, and many people have told me that I have talent to sing, but I don't have the opportunity to show my talent. I would love to sing with you sometime in the future. Love, Mariana.
Oh, that's very sweet.
I know that you're learning your piano, so I'm assuming she figured that out and is like, I want to sing Hallelujah with you. Like that'd be wonderful. Yeah. So Andrew, did you bring in a problem for us this podcast, good sir?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to think how to
phrase it.
Frame the problem.
How about we talk it out and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So the main way to summarize it is just I was thinking about how audio is not really a part of the conversation with tech innovation as much as it probably could be.
Okay. In what regard, I guess?
Well, I don't know. I feel because I do music, but then I do design as well as like
sound design or
no
graphic design?
like graphic web design,
Gotcha.
interactive design. So I am surrounded by tech stuff all the time.
Okay.
Especially with anything web, because you kind of have to be fairly aware of what's going on with web browsers, computers. Like you have to get somewhat techie about that stuff. The more you learn about it, there's a lot of science to it, beyond just the aesthetics. So I usually spend a lot of time like thinking about how things have to look on a phone, or how things look on a bigger screen.
Yeah, so
I
it
remember
shrinks
that
in
game you
mobile.
made in high school where you were shooting colors.
Yeah.
That's the last thing I think I've seen hands-on from you.
Wait, shooting color. Oh,
Yeah.
that was on the iPhone. That was that iPhone
That
app.
iPhone app.
Yeah, Chroma Waves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
We made in school. We worked with programmers. I went to the Cleveland Institute of Art.
That's awesome.
And we had thank you, and we had a course for a semester where about 6 to a dozen designer artist people would collaborate with 6 to another dozen people from Case Western doing programming and the AI and stuff like that. So a bunch of groups would break up and you'd all split up, and every year there's a different theme. And the one year, I'm pretty sure the reason we chose this was because we had to make a mobile game. It was right like 2008, 2009, right when the iPhone took off, and the App Store was just this huge hit all of a sudden. So we figured, well, there's not a lot of good games. Maybe we can make something different from what's out there now. And so we made this abstract game called Chroma Waves, where you had this sort of like ball of color in the center, and you could change the colors. And sort of it was like a multi-touch demo where you could touch 2 different colors and it would turn.
I remember you being blown away by the fact I did that, because it was like an orange one came up and I hit red and yellow, and apparently like you had been having problems getting people to do that or realize you could do that.
Oh yeah, you can mix the colors. So you started with the primary colors, like blue, yellow, and red, and if you touch, say, blue and red, you'd get purple. Yeah. And it was just again a demo. If you touched all 3, I think you could get like black in some cases.
Okay.
And you could have like these little special powers. You could tap the middle, and basically you're matching colors. So you'd have these little creatures that were coming at you, these little like ambient fish and whatnot, and different like cells, and it was trying to make the screen look kind of like an abstract painting by the end, because there'd be all these smears of paint. Yeah. And these ink blotches would like
It'd
explode.
be like Ikaruga if you took all the Japanese out.
Yeah.
Does anyone understand what that game is?
No.
Oh, never mind.
No.
It's like one of those bullet hell shooters, but basically you flip colors.
It was kind of cool. It was like a Zen bullet hell shooter type game, and just always swiping from the middle. And so it was this ambient, sort of there's no text, no story, just sort of a endless arcade game. Yeah. And so we made that. And that was the last thing that was a long time ago. Yeah. But that was a big group project, and like we actually had it on the App Store for a while, but all the developers literally moved.
That was going to be my next question.
We didn't get to.
I kind of want to play this game.
We couldn't maintain it. I think I have like a build of it somewhere on my backups.
God damn it!
I don't know. it probably doesn't run on
I don't think it runs on my 5.
But there were some copycat things I saw later come out, which I couldn't verify or not. But it seemed there was like Chroma something.
Well, it was like
something waves.
That guy invented threes, and basically it was the first 2048. Or it was like 2, 3, 9. Yeah, and so like that guy got totally fucked. Like he was the first person to do the tile sliding exponents thing. So that happens a lot in the mobile industry. It seems.
I think it happens in most industries.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Not to totally derail your problem.
But not to digress.
So sound.
So anyways, so I'm surrounded by this stuff a lot, and my degree is in game design. So I have a fairly what's the word? I just feel like I'm kind of inundated with tech information a lot. Like I research it a lot. Just see what's going on in the various industries, even if I'm not working in that specific field.
But you want to know what the advancements, because you want to know what you may have to implement later in the
For sure, yeah. And it's like, and also just, it's not hard to come across the marketing for this stuff. And anytime there's a new phone or a new laptop or a tablet or a computer, never is audio like a key feature or like flaunted. Is like we've innovated like how good this sounds. Like most people can tell what good audio from bad audio sounds.
And everybody listens to music.
Yeah.
So there's got to be like some desire.
There's some kind of like binary. It's a twofold thing. It's like partly like, do people want it? Do they not know they would want generally like better audio quality coming out of all of their like devices whenever? And is it also a lot of these huge companies don't seem to be devoting a lot of energy towards making it better. They like making it easier, like with wireless or with Bluetooth, packing headphones in and stuff like that. But is it any better? Because meanwhile, the number one, like, if you were to look on the back of the box or like the bullet points for an item, it's always like, how big is the screen? How good is the screen?
Like the camera too.
How good is the camera?
Yeah, how
good is the
megapixels?
input? How's the operating system? does it have any plugs? Are they trying to get rid of many ports? Is it waterproof? These are all like quality of life things. And, meanwhile, a lot of other media forms are benefiting off this a lot. Like a lot of mobile games are pretty great to play. Like I was playing Monument Valley 2 the other day.
I heard that was good.
Yeah, it's like this beautiful game that is perfect for these devices, and they even tell you put headphones in for like the best experience. And it's like interesting to see people be that the creators be that conscious of like, we know most people are just going to hold this in their hand and not do that, and they're just going to get all the audio pumped through this tiny grill plate that's like a quarter of an inch on the bottom.
Exactly.
And all this audio we put all this time into producing is going to get mangled and compressed and just not have the fidelity that it could to immerse you. And the same thing goes with music, and on top of that, streaming compresses a lot of things. And I just feel like but even like the highest audio quality, I don't know why I think is that we have all the like 4K video is so exactly even like the best sound, it can't be more data than like no one says exactly. That's a great point. It's like the mind, like the cultural mindset of like that's a marketing sell point that this is the best, it's gonna feel great, but they never say like beyond maybe Dolby Digital Surround whatever 5.1. But what does that mean? The box unfolds. I don't know why, but does that mean there's like 5 treble speakers and a big bass one?
It depends on the number that's behind it. If it's a 5.1, that means there's 5 speakers and 1 subwoofer. So whatever the first number is the amount of speakers. Now we know what that means. And the second number is how many subwoofers there are. Yeah. So
I did not know what that decimal thing.
Oh really?
I didn't know that.
Okay. So I worked at a movie theater for a while. So this is what we deal with.
That's the thing. I was thinking about movie theaters too, or like.
So when treble and bass speakers aren't a thing, right? I totally just made an ass of myself. I meant sub.
Okay, let's not go that far. I don't really.
Some of them are depending on like the kind of speaker that's in it and what's driving it. I mean, different speakers can focus on different frequencies, or they'll emphasize different ones. Different technology in them. Anyways, you brought up movie theaters. When a movie comes out, the only place you can see it when it first comes out is in a theater. Yeah. Huge screen, like, and that situation, usually great audio. Yeah. It's a full experience. You're seeing and hearing it the way that the creators wanted you to experience it. Whereas,
with a little kid kicking you in the back.
Yeah. And someone unwrapping Raisinets. It's great.
Oh, yeah. The little extra sound effects of Foley work.
They're fun. Yeah.
They should start adding those to DVDs.
Yeah. Someone should make a movie with just movie prop sounds. So you can't tell.
I'm pretty sure if I look on Google right now, I can just find movie sound effects, and they're all in there. Kids crying.
But yeah, and the same when an album drops, I mean, I do this too. I'll go straight to Apple Music and check it out. I try to make sure I'm hooked up to get speakers when I'm listening to something the first time. But just the level of convenience is so immediately gratifying. Yeah. It's not always as immediately gratifying as a bunch of speakers hooked up to a bunch of plugs.
So I don't know a lot about this hardware. What does this sound card on your computer do?
Like, that I don't. I don't know as much about the actual technical like science of what that is doing for you. As much as, I mean, from what I know, most people who do music production full time make sure they have a great sound card, because when you're playing, however many dozens, if not hundreds of WAV files uncompressed at like way higher than CD quality all at the same time, those are like hundreds of megabytes each. I mean, when we were done with our album, with the amount of like the quality of the WAV files that were done, I mean, I think all the like master raw takes that we had, it was like how much was it? It was a lot of gigabytes, just like it does have the raw audio.
It's like a GPU, but like a I don't know, audio PU. Does it kind of like work like a graphics card?
It probably just knows how to process.
I like it. No,
I mean, I can imagine a computer has a tough time processing upwards of like, we had over, I think, like 100 gigs of audio, just files, just WAV files.
And you were recording in WAV then? What was it, like 320 or something?
We were doing it like, let's see. It was 24-bit, 96K. Jeez. So it was really high. Like, that's like as close as you can get to tape, basically. Because CD is half of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah. So it's weird. You don't notice it when you hear CD quality. It sounds the best it's going to sound, and most masters are at CD quality. But when you hear it going twice as much, there's like all these weird ambient breathy details.
So what is a record? People only swear by the efficacy of vinyl.
Vinyl only retains its full fidelity if you go, like, this is the dirty secret about vinyl, is if you go from tape straight to vinyl, you will retain it's all analog audio data. But the second you digitize it, I mean, it's hard to notice. Like most people record at like.
So if I have like a vinyl printer and we have the data and we're printing it to vinyl, not straight from tape, it's losing stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, I think if the real internet, like, I mean, again, I've never done like a vinyl lathe myself, and so I only know so much about it. But at some point, the appeal of vinyl is that back in the way the old record industry was that people were recording to tape live performances in a studio, very few takes, and that tape, you know, it's recorded on a magnetic tape, so there's no digitization of any of that information, and then that information is then printed onto the vinyl. So there's no like ones and zeros or nothing is getting compressed at all.
There's no middleman.
It's all physical information technically. So that's where a lot of when people start talking about, oh, vinyl's warmer sounding and it's more pure, it's more like the actual thing that came off the record studio. It's like sounds like you're in the room with them, that kind of thing. A lot of times bands, you know, they have the budget to afford doing it digitally, and that gives them the endlessness of like the files don't get worse because tape degrades as you record over it over and over. Like it'll just keep getting worse and worse. And so you really can't. And the tape like reels are really expensive. It's thick. It's like I'm not sure what the width is of it, but it's like these huge heavy reels. And when you buy a reel, you buy the whole thing. And you have to, and if you don't use it or you're not a good musician, you mess up, you need 20, 30 takes, the tape is just going to degrade physically because you're recording over and over. It's not like, it doesn't have the resilience of digital formats. It's not like a solid state drive. You can just do whatever you want as many times and it won't die. But if you do it,
although I've heard they are a lot more fragile than spin discs. I love my solid state. My boot up time being 10 seconds is amazing.
I feel like I heard it was the difference.
Faster.
Really? I thought that was the opposite approach.
They die pretty quick because the amount of speed that goes into it.
I guess with the spin disc, you could have like just individual like bits like start to go, but on like the solid state, I think it just all goes. It's hearsay. I don't know.
But I mean, when we were working at the studio we did most of our new album at, we went out to Sumer Recording in Paynesville, which is where Play That Funky Music White Boy was done.
Hell yeah.
And also the Black Keys did Attack and Release there.
Oh, there we go.
So there, I mean, a lot of musicians in this area go there because it's got this great live room and they do have stuff to tape. And the guy that runs it there, Paul Hammond, he built the board with his dad.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And when he was a teenager, so he knows it in and out. There's some limitations when you go in there. Like you really got to be tight. I mean, there's not a lot of, you know, like isolation and he does digital, and the way he put it was like, you know, tape would have been twice as much to do it because you have to buy the tape reels. But he was like, if we record it at the highest level we possibly can, you probably won't notice the difference, in terms of like being practical. If with the human ear they can perceive, like if we did it straight to tape and that went straight to vinyl or that got digitized later, sure, it colors it differently, but he's done a lot of that work both either way. And he was like, if you just record consistently at this like high of a quality and you have the right gear and you're playing well, you probably won't notice a huge difference. You know,
I've never actually really thought about this. How does a speaker make noise?
Well, it's pushing air.
So
I mean,
like,
our guitarist Patrick knows a lot about this stuff actually. I wish he was here in the room to explain. He knows like the whole intricacies of that stuff. He's put new speakers in my amp before, but from what I know, there's a coil inside wherever the speaker cabinet chamber is, and that's sending, you know, information or vibrations to the speaker, and it's like this, you know, paper cone. That's what it is. That's why when speakers get blown, they make that sound. You're hearing it rattle. And then there's the tweeter, and that stuff is just, it's like, all I know is that it's literally pushing air. Like sound is air being pushed at a certain speed and like frequency, and that's what you hear. So it's very physical.
So then that's impressive that you can get that in like an earbud at all.
I know it is. So that's why I'm like, it's so getting to the technology thing, the larger the speaker is, the more sound it can move and the more you're going to hear of it. That's why when you're at like a big arena, you see huge amplifiers and like 8 speaker amps, and the monitors for the crowd are huge because they need to push so much sound to reach people. And yeah, when you're listening to something in an intimate setting, you don't need that much. but there are a lot of details that get squashed because the smaller the speaker, the less it can really do with. That's where the innovation could occur. I'd hope someday that they'd find a way to say, we know we're limited by the size of the phones and the earbuds and the headphones that we have for portability's sake and mobility, but is there a way to not constantly just compromise?
Yeah, you directly wire it into your brain and just stimulate the neurons.
There you go.
Perfect.
Bam.
There you go.
Cyborg.
Can't step in water anymore, otherwise our brains will fry. It's perfect. I feel like it's that weird pros and cons of like convenience of a speaker and quality of a speaker. Like it's the fact that I could take this Bluetooth speaker outside anywhere I go, it's gonna sound okay, and then like it's being complacent with it. You're like, well, I assume it's gonna be like that because
just bring that trend back of carrying a boombox on your shoulder.
Yeah,
there you go.
Damn.
I like it.
Like we were saying,
get that ghetto blaster.
There was some stat about how Apple had around or finally reached, there's 2 billion concurrent devices of theirs out in the world.
Incredible. But I do have to think about that it's
everything.
Not one per person.
It's also not just one single device. Like it's between like iPhones, iMacs, like Mac Towers, like every that has their stuff on it, and that's a third of the world. And how many of those things came built in with a great, balanced speaker?
So I don't know, but I'm guessing the answer is none.
It's in the eye of the beholder, I guess, or the ear of the beholder. But it's. I mean, they're doing this new this HomePod thing, and everyone's doing the like little home assistant, central whatever. Amazon has Alexa, Echo, the Echo, and
and those don't sound super great either.
They're trying to make their sound. They put 7 speakers in this like
little
cylinder
hockey puck,
and apparently they did a demo recently at this conference they did, and a lot of people walked away saying that it sounded amazing compared to a lot of other speakers, and who knows if it really will. I mean, I'd like to hear it for myself, but that's like the first instance where, cause it's not cheap. It's gonna be like close to $400.
And I've mentioned this before though. I don't like having an always-on microphone in your house.
That's what a lot of people are worried about is privacy.
Yeah.
But they think it's just can a lot of these companies find ways to continue to like work good audio technology that is innovative and is like a quantum leap from what we have now, and make it at a consumer level, so more people are just that when they're investing all their time and energy and money using and buying these devices, they're actually getting a reminder of like, this is how audio probably should sound. Just like when they're looking at a picture or a video HD, it's like, oh, this looks great, this is super sharp, the pictures are great. Just it's like it's low on the totem pole, I feel, of like
audio. I feel like
media
does get neglected, but it really isn't important. Like you said, you did video game design. So have you ever played any of the MOBAs that are popular right now, like Dota or Heroes?
I've tried and failed.
So I'm not really.
I'm in that same room.
I'm not super big into them, but I played a little bit of Dota, and I played a little bit of Heroes of the Storm. And in Dota, just like killing a thing feels so much more satisfying, and I think it's just because of like the audio. There's like this click, there's this satisfying like jingle because you get money for doing it. And in like Heroes of the Storm, it's like a really like low quality like thump. And it just doesn't.
It doesn't have
I don't know. It just doesn't feel sasatisfying.
I know.
So even if the gameplay were identical, I'd want to do the other one.
Exactly.
Because it's the feedback. Yeah.
You feel something. I know that. I hate to bring it up, but Call of Duty does a really good job with this kind of stuff, with the leveling things. They have a psychologist that work with the sound design team. To make sure when you level properly, you feel like you leveled properly, and it makes you want to keep.
So you don't mean like the gameplay audio. You mean like, hey, you reached level 22.
But there's a jingle to it. There's a tone to it that the psychologist and the sound design team work together with to make sure that you not only feel great. But you want to keep going because you're like, I love this sound. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel good about playing this game. I don't like Call of Duty anymore, but like I feel like I find that to be so interesting.
I don't feel like anyone does. They just do it because it's what they've always done.
My dad loves Call of Duty.
All right.
Every year, that is every year that's what he asks for Christmas is the newest Call of Duty game. He is the only person, and I know he's listening to this. He's the only person I know that will play the single player game and never play the multiplayer.
Well, I honestly, the first Modern Warfare was like
it was fine. I liked it.
No, I thought it was really, really.
I'm excited.
Good.
I'm excited for the new one. I like the World War II games. That's like what I like.
I feel really bitter that like the new thing Call of Duty is doing is going to World War II though.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
But yeah, he only plays all the single player, and he plays it like 10 or 12 times before he moves on to another one. Like it's just something that he really enjoys, and there's that satisfaction sound of just Call of Duty. I don't know what it is. It's like addicting. But do you think, okay, so when it comes to the audio, do you think it's just I feel like it's more of a non-marketable thing right now. Like they don't know how to describe why it's better.
Yeah.
To a point, I'm thinking I'm probably part of this problem. Like when I use headphones, I just use generic Sony $9 earbuds. I don't have a dedicated sound card. It just goes off my motherboard and my computer.
Yeah.
I think it's that's a tough one. I mean,
because like try to explain to someone why audio is getting better stuff is better. Besides the fact that it's okay, so it's better. Like
it's a tough thing to demo because I mean that's where I think the innovation have to come in. Like if they could get to a point where literally they find a way to make these small speakers like on the table actually have like oomph and power and definition, people might notice a difference from what they usually hear, which is this tinny treble only.
I know when you went from VHS to DVD to Blu-ray, it was like people didn't really notice it got better, but when they went back and tried to watch the old one, they noticed how much worse it was.
Yeah,
exactly. But they also don't know that right away. You have to be shown kind of as an afterthought now.
Yeah, I mean we're in this era now where vinyl suddenly has this huge return, and vinyl sales are way up, more than they've like been in the longest time. And to play vinyl, you have to have it hooked up. And to really get the most out of it, you need to have it hooked up to a good speaker system. Yeah. And not all people do or decide at some point in their life they're ready to invest in that. I think audio is also like, I think this is just my gut feeling, but I feel like almost biologically there's this like binary instinct of like I either hear something or I don't. It's either clear or it's not. And it's a much more wider contrast of not like good to great or great to amazing, but just like audible to like clear enough.
Yeah,
you know, and I think sometimes, you know, I'll check an album out. If all I have is my earbuds and I really want to hear it, I will listen to it through them and not say I'm not going to listen to this until I get that. But I had a experience where I went to the Pacific Northwest for a vacation, and we were in Portland, and there happened to just be this audio shop that I never really walked into one, and they had all these systems set up in this whole wall of headphones, and I got to demo the same music on I would play on all the headphones. You could pick them up and actually hear all the differences.
Yeah.
And got, you know, this great, really affordable pair of Sennheiser headphones that I used them for the whole trip. And I just was like, yeah, I listen to music so often. Why am I not making sure I have a good pair of headphones on me so that I can listen to stuff and I can like do a little bit of like audio mixing or at least appreciate some of the details of something if I want to. Yeah. And it's not this huge burden. I know it's easier to have like this. It's like, you know, and you get new earbuds for an iPhone. They cost so much to replace those things. Yeah. It's insane. Like for these little pieces of plastic. I know they're baking a lot of technology into it nowadays to make it that small, but
I've never been an Apple product person, so I didn't know they were expensive to replace.
They are. I actually think they're like $30.
I think they're like $35 to $40.
Yeah, for just the white ones.
Yep. Yeah, which is really bad news.
And then those earbuds, the ones that are AirPods.
AirPods. You know, those earbuds.
Apple
just
AirPods.
Dunk it on your audio real quick.
Your iPhone. Yeah, it looks like $30 for replacements, and then the AirPods are $160.
Jeez.
Because they come with that charger and whatnot, and they're wireless, but still, it's like, man, like you'd think for that. That's more than my Sennheisers were, and those things sound great. Like you can hear a lot of things. Like we'll work on a record that we know every little detail of what we put into it, and on a lot of times I can hear those details on those headphones. Whereas when I put the earbuds in, it's immediately super mid bass heavy. A ton of treble is gone. A ton of like low bass is gone. It's just like muddy. In comparison, most people don't know that because they're like, this sounds full. This is in my ears. I'm immersed. So it's just making it like. I think sometimes when technology makes leaps, you don't even notice it. It just changed. Like when people hang on to their smartphone for so long, and then they get a new one, and it's like so many times I'll hear a friend be like, "Whoa, this got improved massively since the last time I bought one." So technology is kind of a stealthy like that, but I don't know.
It's a weird
better speakers, people.
Yeah, it sounds like better speakers and like just having that little bit of like knowledge, like that knowing that there is more out there if you spend the money. But also, I feel like the problem with audio is that, like, since it's so particular what you're doing, like, it's hard to get people to shell out that money.
Yeah, it's reinforced by the fact that, everyone's going to one of a few companies to get their phone, and none of them are really prioritizing it, so no one's really sending this message that this matters, especially when you're dealing with, like...
phone thing in particular. I don't think there's a good phone manufacturer right now.
No.
Like, I think as far as, like, PC versus Mac computers, I like PC a little bit. And then when you go to phones, I dislike Android platforms less than I dislike Apple. But there's no...
Which is a great stance to have. You're like, I just like this one a little less, so I'm going to take this one. That's fine.
Yeah, especially with all these voice assistants coming out now and doing more text-to-speech or vice versa. I think it is going to become important, even from an accessibility standpoint, to, like, have good audio for the most part. I mean, people can plug their phones in their cars, and those tend to have better speakers nowadays, but... I just feel like it's one of these things that have been neglected while every other component, from an I/O and input-output interface perspective.
Is something lost? I don't really know how Bluetooth works or that stuff, but if I like Bluetooth hook up to my car, is there something that's just lost in the transmission of data that way?
A lot of developers and manufacturers have said that the Bluetooth, in some cases, they think is better or is as good, or they think it's fine.
As like a hard line, you mean?
Huh?
As like a hard line?
Just like there's nothing lost.
Gotcha.
But I think when anything is wireless,
I think
a lot of information is lost. It always is.
Maybe it's not lost, but it's like it lags a little bit in some capacity.
I'm just thinking about trying to game on wireless versus gaming when you're hard.
And also, there's a lot of automation behind if you are streaming and you're also wireless and you're in a bad network area, things get compounded and maybe you don't notice slowly over time like your quality is going up and down, but it is because they're trying to be mindful of data plans, be mindful of connectivity.
And their servers too. Like I'm sure they got to make sure that everything's normalized. So
I mean, Facebook's horrible at this, as is from a visual perspective, social media, when you upload photos, I mean, they compress things so much. Like literally if you put a file up and then you re-download it, you'll see it's like almost always trying to get below 1 kilobyte.
I did
one I think 100 kilobytes is what it is.
Wow, that's really small. I did see some guy who just basically took he made a YouTube video and then just kept God
damn it, I was literally going to reference this. He keeps
Wasn't it from
uploading
King of the Hill or something?
Was it?
I saw one that was King of the Hill, and
he just keeps he just keeps like he'll upload a video and then download that video and then upload that video, and he did it like 1,000 times and just like slowly just watching it corrode over time. Like
it was by like not even halfway through the 1,000.
Yeah, you just couldn't even see it.
Either way, I think it's worth it for people to be aware that this is a thing that hasn't changed too much, and.
So you got any plugs on sound products you would recommend to people?
Sennheisers.
I do have Sennheisers, and they are great.
Are they Sennheisers or Sennheisers? Fuck.
Zig Heil?
Are they? How do you pronounce? You pronounce them?
What's it say on the label? Sen.
SENN.
So I guess it would be Sen.
I guess so.
I don't
know.
I've always heard people say Sign.
That's awesome. Hey, I'm Sennheiser products. I love these.
But that sounds like a last name, so it could be like not phonetically written.
That's true. I like those. I don't know about you,
like
but I use them.
Shure has good products even from like a microphone standpoint. I've used in-ears packets for like live shows, and their unit is always really good. I
like Audio-Technica.
Audio-Technica, Electrovox makes good stuff.
Is Bose actually any good, or is that
Bose
just
is
overrated?
Good. They're I think from a consumer level, they're very popular because they've sort of
they have that like, name brand to them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Sony when it comes to television, where it's like they're all still good quality, but you're paying for that extra name aspect for it. So
we do have a Sonos in our kitchen, one of the wider ones. I think it sounds good.
Yeah,
like I think it's for like if you're just cooking or you want to listen to a podcast, it's got oomph to it. It sounds louder than it should.
Okay.
It looks small, but I'm kind of impressed with how much comes out of it. I usually have to turn it down, and I haven't like tested and vetted everything against it. But
cool.
Yeah.
I think with audio, you definitely get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
But what if I buy
That's
Beats
like the
by
life
Dre?
lesson.
Well, Beats by Dre aren't bad. That's more of a fashion. That's like going back to the name brand thing. So they make decent stuff. It's not amazing. I would still take a Sennheiser over that any day. But for what they are, over regular earbuds, I would take a Beats by Dre, and you can manipulate them that way.
There's this one article that I bookmarked for this specific discussion.
Oh, perfect.
The headline is Sennheiser's $55,000 headphones sound like heaven on earth. And so to the counter to this point, I mean, not all headphones are that much. That's the top of the top. Like there's literally marble on them or something.
I made
like
that joke, but if I pay $55,000, I want you stimulating the neurons in my brain.
Yeah, I want to be taken to another goddamn world for a while. Like, jeez. Andrew, let's talk about the track Morning Star, because I'm going to play it right after this. Okay. Let's talk about Commonwealth for a minute.
Sure.
So you're in a band, Commonwealth. You play guitar, right?
I play rhythm guitar, and I sing live. And then on the record, I usually pinch it with bass sometimes.
That's awesome.
And piano.
Okay. Man of many talents, then.
Yeah.
Can you describe what Morning Star is about then?
That's a weird one.
That's the one you emailed me with. Yeah. You're like, I got you 2 songs, buddy. Let's talk about Morning Star.
That one, because a lot of the new album has a lot of more just straight up autobiographical stuff, or it's a little more direct and not as metaphorical. And that song is actually, the 2 that I sent you, I think, are actually a lot more kind of abstract lyrically and whatnot.
Wonderful.
I think the reason I sent them is because they seemed like good podcast
Perfect.
songs,
That's fine.
because they have like, pretty consistent rhythm sections. There's some instrumental aspects to them, but that song is in one sense it's kind of a straightforward rock song compared to the rest of the record, but it has a really unique rhythm section.
Good headphones for this
one. But what's about, I don't know, is anyone, either you watch American Gods?
I've seen the first 2 episodes. I have not gotten that far into it.
Okay.
Is it good? Is it worth my time?
I think it's worth checking out. The reason I bring it up is because there was a scene in, might have been the 3rd or 4th episode, where one of the gods they sort of subtly introduced, I was pretty convinced it was based off the same mythology that this song references in a way. Because there's, anyways, you can look it up. You can Wikipedia.
Without spoiling too much, is it one of the new gods or one of the old?
I think it's one of the old.
Okay.
I haven't verified. I haven't read the book, so I don't know either or. But I kind of saw visually what they were doing. There was some stuff with constellations, and
I would highly recommend the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has a great audiobook if you want to go background of the sound thing.
I like audiobooks.
Very well read.
I think the song is, I think in the simplest form, it's a little bit about living somewhat vicariously, maybe not being aware of that.
Okay.
Or sort of, I think people tend to go to other people for advice. It's a natural human inclination. What should I do in this situation? What would you do? And it's sort of, like, what are you looking at me for kind of attitude is what the song has. A lot of everyone's kind of figuring it out for themselves, and not to be like, not like a negative, I'm not going to help you kind of attitude, but I think the song sort of has like a, there's a line at the end that says, it's all buried underneath piles of stupid luck. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like, I've learned over the years that luck is a huge factor in moving forward with anything in a lot of ways.
Most definitely.
The song that precedes that, the opening track, Birthday Song, is basically all entirely about luck.
Gotcha.
So I think it's
I think that's all
extension.
Life is, I like to use the metaphor of like Texas Hold'em. It's like working hard and doing your hardest is just giving you a better starting hand. But sometimes with pocket aces, you lose to the idiot that stayed in with 2-7 offsuit and just drew 2-2-7.
Yeah,
exactly.
Our guitarist Pat, there's a quote he often says: "Luck favors the prepared mind." That sort of thing. Maybe he got that from somewhere else. Sometimes he pulls these out of like thin air, and it's like, that sounds like
you're like, you heard that on Rugrats,
motherfucker. Some ancient book, some tome.
Yeah, those Air Bud movies.
Yeah, he's got these he's got these turns of phrases that speak to that. So I think that's a good one.
Cool. Well, folks, enjoy Morning Star, and we'll be back in just a moment. back. Wow. Oh my God. This is amazing. It's like I didn't do any post-production at all, guys. This is great. That was Morningstar. We just
sat around for like 3 minutes.
I know. We all just stared at the ground for a little bit. I looked at my Sennheisers and wonder if I'm ever saying it correctly or incorrectly. Thought about Airbud for a little bit, so it's all good.
Get your earbuds.
Get your earbuds in. Dunk
Did you know
that
dog
that
only
audio.
had 3 legs?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What?
The dog they trained actually hit a basketball only had 3 legs, so there was
no way.
an Airbud for the not basketball parts.
Stop.
So Airbud's stunt double.
Had 4 legs, and Airbud had 3.
Really?
Unless you count the hitting the basketball as a stunt double. I don't know.
Wait, so do you consider? So is one Airbud the basketball Airbud, and one Airbud the sort of
the dog around town?
Just the Airbud, urban Airbud, like I'm just living my life. I'm not playing basketball. So. Which one's the real Airbud?
I don't know. That's a good question.
The Airbud is inside us, and that's the idea of all the movies.
We are all Airbuds.
We're all Airbud at the end of the day. Let's help some 12-year-olds, folks. This is very important to me. It's my community outreach. For those who don't know, we do a segment in our WikiHow where basically we have found out that 12-year-olds ask a bunch of questions on WikiHow. And the article we're pulling from is How to Poop Standing Up. I dug deep into WikiHow this week, guys. I apologize. Here are some of the questions. Let's help some 12-year-olds. What if someone comes in and my poop splashes everywhere and on them?
Wait,
so
there's a lot of missing components.
There's a lot of information that we do not have, folks, and that's important. So
the point I noticed first is that if someone didn't come in, that means you're still splashing everywhere.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
So if no one, I'm assuming what they mean is there's like a door in the way. So that means they could shut the door and then not poop standing up. I'm very confused.
So I didn't actually get a chance to look at this one.
You don't need to.
Does this mean like outside where you're kind of standing but squatting, or does this just mean like?
I was wondering about camping. Yeah.
Yeah, full like a 6 foot tall person is the highest point when they're pooping is 6 feet off the ground, like
the ladder.
Okay, so this is just straight up.
This is just someone standing on the toilet seat, or standing, or standing in front of it, turned around, hokey pokey style.
How is this article just not the word "don't"?
This is WikiHow. They don't care. They have to answer these. Just the dumbest things you could possibly think of.
So, do you guys believe in the validity of the Squatty Potty product? That it's
what do you mean is the validity of it?
So it's like the stool you put in front of your toilet, and I guess
the way we were meant to go.
Yeah, that's their shtick. I think it was on the Shark Tank show.
Yeah, and I believe anything that Shark Tank pulls in front of me, so I'm a bad consumer.
But I don't know. I just don't know if I buy it. And also, like, if that really is a thing, don't you just kind of lean?
You just gotta lean back.
Not back. Forward.
Yeah. I don't really know how to poop half the time.
All right.
I'm just
you
guessing.
Do it standing up. Let's see.
I don't want to say that I'm the one that asks all these questions, but I'm very close to it. Why would I poop while standing up? That's the question. Why would I do that?
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why you would poop while standing up. We're not sure. That's my bad.
What was the answer to that question?
For some, it feels easier to use the bathroom standing. For others, it may be because of the germs on the seat of the toilet. With 65 likes and 24
so you're afraid
dislikes.
Of the germs on the toilet,
So
and no, you don't set toilet paper or like a thing on it, and no, you don't try and like hover. You just decide to like straight up and down.
Most places have those little seat covers, and they have toilet paper. I've been to some seedy bars around here before. They have that kind of stuff available for you. Don't be a dick. How about that? Why do I usually poop sitting down if I can stand? So this is a whole flip of an opposite. I don't understand.
Wait, what's the question?
Why do I usually poop sitting down if I can stand? Someone's being sarcastic on these Q&A forums.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a real question.
I don't like it. This one's bad. What if I poop on the floor?
Sit.
Call your parents.
I mean, I think you've gotten too far at that point. Like.
You're already done. Leave, pay your tab, and go. Jesus.
That's not much you can do.
No.
I mean, there's things you can do, but I don't think
you
anyone...
get a Ziploc bag on your hand and then grab it.
And who has one of those available in a bathroom?
Oh.
Exactly. Can I pee standing? And then in parentheses, I am a girl. You can.
You can do
I mean,
whatever you
anything's
want,
possible.
yeah.
It's 2017, so.
I actually just remembered Mark Plesnick told me a story when he was really, really young. He was like standing and peeing, like, and he took a shit on the floor behind him.
What?
Why?
What?
Is this in high school?
No,
Mark?
I mean, yeah, because I went to grade school with him. But this was like before you were even grade school. Like
I never heard that story.
Yeah.
Oh man,
he
and I used to play a lot of Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Goddamn, Perfect Dark. Jeez.
Was great.
Yeah.
What? I only got a couple more. What if someone looks underneath the stalls and does not see my feet?
Oh, so you're standing on the.
But it's locked.
Okay, first off, you're in a 80s horror movie and you're trying not to be killed.
From the killer.
Yeah,
but, like, I never got that either because then like he either would just open every door.
I mean, this changes all horror movie tropes.
It does.
Definitely.
It does. Yeah. We are changing the game. This new Halloween movie that's coming out, I really hope it has nothing in that involved. How do I not fall in when pooping while standing up? Have you tried sitting? I recommend it. It's important. And the last one, if I'm in a bathroom stall pooping and a classmate looks at me from the bottom of the stall, what should I do?
So I don't think this one's specific to just the standing thing. Like that's weird.
That's just like a weird thing just in general.
You tell your classmate not to do that, and then if he keeps doing it, you gotta get some authorities involved.
How did you guys do that with St. Ignatius? Did you guys have doors on your stalls in St. Ignatius?
Yes.
This was never a problem in high school.
Interesting.
I don't think anyone had these. If anyone would have had these kind of conversations and dilemmas, it would have been young teenagers at an all-boys school.
You are correct.
Yeah.
And I feel like I never heard that this was like a thing. I think everyone just kind of did their own thing and you know.
Huh.
I never heard of this.
So I went to Strongsville and we didn't have any doors on our stalls at all.
Really?
They took them away.
Why?
Because I'm assuming kids were doing drugs or like making out in the back. I don't fucking know. I wasn't involved. No one invited me to any of that. So yeah, we just didn't have stalls.
You allowed to do that?
I don't know.
There's gotta be some code against that.
I don't know.
Hey, yeah, like your children, we don't have doors in their bathrooms. Like,
yeah.
I feel like parents get really fired up over that.
Yeah, that'd be But I'm not there anymore, so it's fine. James, you have a problem for this episode, do you not?
Yeah.
What's your problem, buddy?
People don't know what the hell sugar is.
Okay.
Yeah. So, do you guys know what a carbohydrate is?
Yeah, it's like in my pasta.
Okay.
Yeah, I know where it exists.
No, all right.
If I was to break down exactly what makes a carb,
I would say sorry. My answer was no. By the way,
so it's
in a lot of it's everywhere.
It's in the name. It's carbohydrate. It's just carbon and water. Mm-hmm. So like.
Oh, okay.
So if you look at glucose, like fructose and stuff, it's literally just 6 carbons, 6 waters. C6H12O6.
Okay.
So this is like the class of molecule. So starch is when they're all strung together. It's in the storage form. And then sugars we normally refer to when they're only like 1 or 2 together, and that's because that's what you actually convert into energy. So before you convert starch into energy, you have to convert it into sugar.
Okay.
So I don't know how well this is going to work without visuals, but I'm going to try to explain what glucose looks like.
Okay.
So you take your 6 carbons and stretch them out in a straight line.
Okay, of course.
So now you have your 6 waters left to play with. So on your second carbon, you just put an oxygen and a hydrogen on one side.
Obviously.
Hydrogen on the other.
Yeah.
There's your water. So you do that from 2 through 5. So carbon has this thing where it likes to be bound to 4 things. So for the carbons 2 through 5, they have a carbon above them and a carbon below them. Oxygen on one side, bound to a hydrogen, and then hydrogen on the other side. So the end carbons don't have the other carbons, so 1 and 6.
Okay.
So you have 2 waters left, and these 2 end carbons don't have theirs yet, and they each want to be bound to 4 things. So carbon 6 is an asshole and takes one of the extra hydrogens.
Okay.
So carbon 6 is C. It's bound to 3 hydrogens, 1 oxygen. So this leaves carbon 1 out by himself. He has to double bond to one of the oxygens.
Okay. Which isn't probably that good of a bond if he has a double bond, right?
Yeah.
And
then he has 1 hydrogen.
Okay.
So that's what glucose looks like. The difference between glucose and fructose is carbon 1 is an asshole too in fructose and steals carbon 2's hydrogen. So then carbon 2 is double bound to an oxygen.
Okay.
So that's what the difference between glucose and fructose is.
Is this, if I was to, I'm visualizing a lot of like dots and lines in a row, and like when you zoom into a specific, so like that's like one molecule of fructose. Is that what you're saying?
So
or glucose.
Yes. Glucose is 6 carbons in it, so that whole thing is 1 glucose.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And you get a lot of that in like a certain ingredient.
So it's fruit. I know people don't think about that. Fruit has a lot of sugar.
Yes.
Soda has an inordinate amount of sugar.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it?
This has a lot, right?
Actually, so beer, you add a lot of sugar to it, but the yeast turn it into alcohol. So there is some sugar left, but actually most of the calories in beer come from the actual alcohol itself. Yeah.
Gotcha. So my main question is, sugar, how did you get so fly? That's out of all the questions I have for you this evening. So
I don't know what that means. Is that from a song?
It's a song. It's fine. Don't worry. That's a bad joke.
Yeah.
So why?
So I just like hear people say like sugar is unhealthy all the time.
Gotcha.
But it's like loaded in fruit, and like there's this big like gluten-free craze that's going on for a lot of people that don't have the allergy, but because bread has a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
And it's just your body converts sugar into energy.
Yeah.
So as long as you're not like overeating like a crazy amount, and I would say like don't drink soda, but like you're gonna be fine. Like if you just kind of watch calories and don't really need to worry too much about sugar. I will say fructose is a little worse. So like high fructose corn syrup is bad because your body can tell how much glucose you have, and so when you eat sugar, it will either store it or turn it into energy.
Yeah.
Fructose skips that step, so it's processed the same way, but your body can't see fructose. Fructose comes in, turns into energy no matter what. So this is the insulin signaling problem. If you're plenty of energy, you eat a bunch of fructose, it all gets turned into energy, and your body's like, what the fuck, we didn't need this, more insulin signaling. So then more fructose comes in, your body's like, what the hell, more insulin signaling, but it can't store the fructose, so your insulin receptors die, and this is what causes type 2 diabetes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gross.
Wait, so here's something. So our cat Chewbacca had diabetes for a while, and then it receded. And I don't know where it came from, but I had to give him insulin twice every day, like every 12 hours.
Was it a shot?
Yeah.
But
he took it well. So I gave it for a year and a half I gave it every, and he had a healthy diet. He wasn't like eating this, it was just pretty healthy dry food. But anyways, he got it, and there's all these signs of it. And then, they took his blood glucose levels, and it was way, way high, like would have died days later if he would have still had it. Yeah. And then as soon as we gave him doses, went way down, monitored it, kept checking it. We kind of know if it was too high or too low. And then eventually it got so low, like his blood glucose was so much lower than it should have been that we eventually just took him off it, and then took him off the diet food. And I would check him every time he acted up, and it was like still like where it should be for a healthy, normal cat.
Yeah.
And they said it could always come back. It's more likely to recede in male cats. But I was kind of like, does it recede in humans ever?
Yes, it can. Type 2 diabetes can almost always, if you catch it early enough, just kind of be diet and exercised away.
So does that turn the insulin back on, or
no,
what?
So it's not the insulin that's a problem initially in type 2. You're still making it. It's that you've like destroyed enough insulin receptors that you need incredibly high doses for it to work. So if you just start going back to eating a healthy amount, and actually like exercise is a big component of it too.
Gross.
You get enough insulin receptors back that you're kind of on like the normal baseline.
So they can grow back?
Yeah.
And
so
I didn't know that. That's how that works.
Yeah, I had
eventually
no idea.
Through type 2 diabetes though, what type 1 is, your pancreas doesn't make insulin. It's the beta cells I think that are bad. In type 2, if it's chronic enough, like it goes on long enough, eventually that will happen, and then it's irreversible. But like, and not all cases, but a lot of cases of type 2 diabetes could be reversed by a lifestyle change.
Really?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So take care of yourself, people.
Take care of yourself. Listen to good audio. And
yeah.
Andrew, let's talk about the next song you sent me, Sleepwalkers.
Yeah.
Do you have a story for that one? What do you got for me?
My brother, Nicholas, he's our percussionist, drummer, co-songwriter. He's helped me a lot with lyrics, and in the past he and I usually share 50-50 of pretty much all the lyrics on our albums.
Cool.
And on the new one, I took the lead with a lot of them, and he more or less just stepped in as like more like an official editing revisionist role. He'd read everything, because usually I would send him unfinished stuff and he would help me fill the gaps, and then we'd sort of kind of, I don't know, massage the words into place and be mindful of phonetics and stuff. And on this one, he had a demo of it for a long time, so it was one of the few on the record that he just took and kind of finished. And then I saw, and it seemed like it was, whenever someone's writing lyrics for you, it's like hard to know if it's gonna sing well. Because you'll run into consonants or vowels that just are placed in the wrong position, and it's like, oh, I'm stumbling over this phrasing now.
Yeah.
So it's that sort of thing. But he did a great job with it. So he wrote it, and I know he, from what I know of what my own interpretations of it, it's he and I talked about how there'd be like the certain recurring nightmares that we'd have as kids.
Yeah.
There's a line in it at the end that's what is it? It's talking about some kind of like, there's like some kind of dreamscape imagery, and it's referencing a dream, and it says the one where you can't move as I float down the stairs, because he'd have this dream of like being stuck in place and this like figure coming down the stairs, and he couldn't move or move away from it.
Is that the origin of Slender Man?
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
There's that Red Letter Media thing on Slender Man? Sorry, side note.
The guy mixing the album, Dave Piatek, he thought it was about being abducted by aliens, which it's not. But I was like, that's really interesting. I didn't think about that. But I think there's lines and there's like some imagery in the album that references this idea of being stuck in a labyrinth. The opening lines are, "Don't you know how this ends? Two children in a labyrinth." And I think that can be taken a number of ways, whether it's two people or when people have a kid, and
Or you and David Bowie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
holding the orb and you're singing songs.
Yeah, it's one of the more gentler songs on the record. And I think it's just got a lot of dreamscape imagery in it. It's another one of the more abstract ones.
Awesome.
But it pulls from a lot of like real life experiences. I think we were always trying for a while to find, ways to visualize more ambient visuals that don't really make sense in a stream of consciousness. So it's that sort of thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, folks, enjoy the track Sleepwalkers, and we'll be back after the song. It's amazing.
What pisses you off?
What pisses me off? Guys, lines. Have you ever been in a line?
No, not once.
Not once? You've never been in a line before? You're a fucking liar. God damn it. For those who don't know, lines are when people form to get to one centralized location. Or queues. Yes. Queues. Man, I wrote that down earlier today, and I went, what's the other word that the British use for that? It's, you queue up for things and whatnot. I hate lines. I don't think they're fun. I don't like waiting in lines. Because then if it's too long of a line, people start to talk to me, and I don't enjoy that. I have a face that says, I'll listen to you, and I'll respond to you, but I won't get mad. So I have that problem a lot with lines.
So as much as I hate lines as well in traffic, which is essentially a line in a car,
yes,
I think they are, kind of a societal necessity.
Yeah, no, I get it. I feel like I just don't like being in the line. That's all.
You're not wrong there.
With all my Amazon purchases, eBay purchases, and Steam purchases, I get things automatically. I don't have to wear pants.
We are used to instant gratification.
That is true, and that's a personal problem of mine that I like instant gratification.
How can we make the line better?
How can we make the line better?
More online shopping.
Well, here's
brick
the thing.
And mortar.
I don't like referencing this, but I will go to Walmart for dumb shit for errands wise, and they're doing a thing right now where they are online ordering, and you literally pull up in a smaller line in your car, and they bring out everything for you. You don't
Amazon
have to go
does
in.
that now too.
Do they really?
They've been maybe it's only in beta or something, but I've been a Prime member for like 10 years now, and they're telling me I could go pick up your Amazon order or whatever, or
where's the closest one? Isn't it like Akron though?
No, it's closer than that, and it is right now like limited. It's not the full Amazon selection, obviously, but they're pitching that. I think they bought
cool.
Whole Foods. It's only a matter of time before Amazon is the only place you can buy anything.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't mind waiting 2 days for things. So that's not it's not a big deal. I don't really have much to go on. I just don't like lines. I don't really have much. I apologize. So let's go into our happy endings. How about that?
All right.
Okay. My problem was very straightforward on purpose. So because I didn't really want to talk about it. All right, Andrew. So what we do is our good friend James on deck, friend of the pod. He wrote a bag of bad things, and you're going to pick out one of them. Okay. And you're going to try to find the silver lining to this wonderful problem. Okay. It doesn't help that you don't know him. But some of these that's a bad toss, one. But most of them are things that happen in his life, and so you don't know them, so they're going to be wild to you, maybe. They may just be... Okay. Last episode we had Hitler. He has nothing to do with Hitler, but he just I got him drunk one night and made him write 40 of these, so...
So do I have to say it out loud first?
Yeah, you do. You're already smart. You're like, oh, fuck. We'll help you. Is it bad handwriting?
No, I thought I thought it said
we have a lot of bad handwriting.
It says Jack Daniels.
Oh.
I thought it said Sack Danger or something.
Well, hold on. We're gonna do both. Let's start with Sack Danger.
I thought right. I thought I saw Sock Dangers for a second.
Oh, Sock Danger or Sack Danger?
Sack Dangers.
I can see that
a little bit. The J was a little bit curled at the top.
The word Jack sack for sure.
Okay, James, I'm gonna make you rewrite all of these. I'm gonna make you type them out and cut them yourself. How do you what's the silver lining of Sack Danger? This one is so open to interpretation. Do you guys watch Review at all?
I've heard about it. You've talked about it. I've never seen it.
There is this one. So Review is a guy who gets these. He has to review things for life. It's this guy's named Forrest McNeil. His name is Andy Daly. He's a comedian or whatever. He does things like he has to review cocaine or getting divorced or eating 15 pancakes. And they had this one episode where they had this tweet that came in, and it just said he has to review They're All Is Aching. And he had no idea what to do. He thought it was like a Yoda thing, and he started deconstructing it, and then he just went crazy because he didn't know how to review it correctly. Yeah. So I feel like this could be our They're All Is Aching. And I'm very worried. So please, I don't know what Sack Danger is, but getting kicked to the nuts, I guess.
Santa Claus in trouble? I don't really.
That is true. That's more of a Futurama thing.
Has a sack famously.
Yeah, we do because it's that's not a word for holding testicles.
That is true,
and that's dangerous. I don't know if you guys have been hit in the nuts before, but it is not. It is not fun. But silver lining. Some people don't want kids, so just kind of, and whatever that surgery is costs money, and sometimes isn't covered by insurance. So,
God Damn it! I can't believe I can't remember that word right now.
What, sack?
No, the one the name of that surgery.
Vasectomy.
Vasectomy. There we go. Yeah. Nailed. That's why we have you here. So yeah, that sack danger, but also Jack Daniels. Why is Jack Daniels good?
Why is it silver lining?
Bad? Actually,
I don't know. I'm confused. I feel like he must have had a bad time with Jack Daniels. I used to drink a lot of Jack Daniels.
Even if you don't like their base product, they have a lot of pretty impressive alcohols.
They do. Yeah. They do well. They're one of the leading providers of whiskey.
Maybe the silver lining is that you shared it amongst a lot of people and no one got drunk.
There we go. And no one committed crimes. No one hurt each other.
It was a perfectly normal evening.
James, you fucked up. James, get better at these. Right. I don't want to go through them. Yeah. Grab another one because just one more. Yeah, go for it.
Are you guys pulling?
No, we only do one an episode usually.
You're not?
Yeah. Okay. But like that one's just like horse shit. So he listens to them, so I'm going to call them. They're horse shit.
This one's
long. Perfect. It's a story then. It's a story, James.
Witnessing a terrible, gruesome murder. He witnessed? He did?
I don't think he did.
I don't know.
I think after
maybe
a while
it was
he
like
ran
roadkill or something. Could that count?
What is it?
Like roadkill, like
run over,
like saw an animal get caught, and
that is true. You see some kind of animal murder. I mean, the silver lining for that is like
that's not a silver lining, but I mean, like a human murder is like I mean, that's like you're part of a crime.
It's bad. Yeah, you're just.
So the silver lining I can think of is like you could testify against the murderer in court, and he'll probably be punished for what he did.
That is true. You can be, and who doesn't want to be in a court sometime? That sounds fun.
One of my nightmares is getting pulled for jury duty, getting selected, and then like losing everything in my life because I can't go to work because I have to go into this stupid thing.
I've always wanted to go to jury duty.
You're stuck in jury duty forever.
Yeah, that would be like miserable.
I got one time
called. I didn't get selected.
That's good.
But like, yeah, I had to miss 3 days of work, and that's the bare minimum. But like, people get their lives ruined. When I got pulled, I was reading horror stories of people whose lives fell apart. It was like your job can't legally fire you for pulling jury duty, but that doesn't stop them from doing stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Maybe the silver lining is that you're actually just walking into the set unknowingly of like the new Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh, that'd be fucking badass.
You're like, what?
Oh, the Scooby-Doo movie.
With a gruesome murder in it.
Yeah. But it's not real. It's not real.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
It's like it looks real, but it's not. It's like this like new reboot that's like edgy. Like, the rise of Scooby-Doo.
The Rock is Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
I would watch the fuck out of that. Don't even tempt
just like
me
gritty
for that
return. Quentin Tarantino directed.
It's all black and white. It's basically just Sin City, but Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. So it's
perfect.
Like the 2/3 of it is just like talking the whole time, and then it just turns into the brutal, gruesome murders.
Oh my god! Just so much blood, just so much gratuitous violence. All right, so Andrew, what kind of plugs do you got? What do you you guys doing any shows?
Yeah. The next show we have in Cleveland is August 30th, I believe. Let me double check my calendar.
Yeah, no problem.
But it's at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Ooh.
It's outside, and it's the 30th, and it's free.
Awesome.
So that should be fun because usually it's later in the evening and they have food trucks and whatnot, and you can just walk up to the pavilion and hang out.
There you go.
So we have that coming up. And if you want to hear our new album, The Victory Garden, go to our Bandcamp, which is just the Commonwealth-music.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
Or our website, which is just that same thing minus the Bandcamp.
Perfect.
We have everything streaming on there from that service. And
awesome.
Yeah, we're looking to get it on the more popular streaming services soon.
So like Spotify, Apple Music.
Yeah, that's
so right now Bandcamp. Though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
So check it out.
Anything else coming in the pipe for Commonwealth after the album? Because this one came out in what?
April. Yeah, late April. We're gonna have more fall shows coming up.
Okay.
Everyone's sort of traveling in July, so we're trying to figure out.
Gotcha.
Might be working on some video stuff. Might be working on. We're trying to plan vinyl release.
Awesome.
Hence the mention of audiophile stuff.
Yeah, it's on your brain then.
Yeah. So we're working on that and see where that takes us. Yeah.
Anything personally for you?
I do freelance design, anything from web design to graphic design. So if there are people out there that need some kind of, branding or anything like that, or a new website, I've been working in the food industry in Cleveland lately.
So you know that picture I have is my Steam.
Oh, there's that too.
Aspirin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I drew that.
That's like one of my favorite.
Yeah.
By far. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. That was a fun one to draw.
All right, you sold me on your product. So
illustration.
I may need some work soon, so you sold it.
Yeah.
So.
And then in college, we used to play Smash Brothers a lot. My one roommate would only ever play Kirby, and Andrew designed a shirt that was just Kirby sucking in a bomb that just said "all ball."
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I like it. I like it.
So yeah, graphic design, illustration, web design, any of that stuff. If someone is looking for a freelancer, I can take care of it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Mm-hmm. James, what are you into this week?
I've been listening to the Orvis Fly Fishing podcast.
Okay.
You can check that out.
Gotcha. That sounds very exciting. What do they discuss on the Fly Fishing podcast? That's it?
It starts with a question and answer segment, and then he brings on a guest that's usually a guide from somewhere in the country and tells you about catching fish in different locations.
Is it interesting?
To me, it is. I don't think most people.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It happens. For me, I just got selected to be one of the judges for the Lakewood Wing Crawl on August 19th. So I'm very excited about that.
What is that?
It happens once a year, and there are 13 bars on Lakewood on Detroit, and you get 4 wings at every stop, and you get to judge them.
2 flavors, right?
Yeah, it's like you get like a buffalo and then like their specialty flavor. So it could be whatever you want. It's like an all-day Saturday like day drinking thing from like 1 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
I go every year with my family. It's a blast. I mean, you go too, and it's fun. I enjoy it. I recommend
Pillars of Lakewood, I think.
Yeah, it's a weird name, but yeah, I'll be an official judge this year, so I'm very excited about that. I just posted the album cover for my new album, Try Harder. So just find that on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. That'll be coming out later this year. If everything goes according to plan. I think that's it right now for me. I don't got much going on. I'm just playing PlayerUnknown, so like my life is ruined.
And
so
I hate that game. That's gonna be my next problem.
That's fine. That's okay. Once again, this has been the Plucking Petals podcast with James and Kyle. As always, I am Kyle.
And I'm a bag of problems.
Have a good day.